What up guys, Danny with Gilson, here to show you how to wax one of our all mountain boards. It has the full gamut of our three-dimensional base. It's a little different to wax. We received a few questions, so I'm here to explain how to wax it for you. Of course, the steps are to base clean. You're gonna then apply the wax, scrape, and then buff. And the things that you're gonna need for that is base cleaner, a nice abrasive pad to be able to really get in there and get all the crud off. And then a clean rag to be able to wipe all that off. An iron, the smaller the better, and you'll see why in a second. Bar of wax, sharp plastic scraper, and then another abrasive pad to be able to buff all that wax off at the end. And last but not least, your Gilson board. So, let's get right into it. All right guys, first step is base cleaning. And the reason why we do this is because throughout your riding experience on the board, the base can accumulate a lot of dirt, some crud, even sometimes some snowcats will leave a little bit of grease sometimes in the snow. And your board will pick that up as you use it. So we want to be able to get as much of that out of the board as we can so that we don't press it into the board with the new wax. So what we're going to do is just put a lot on there, of course, and just make sure that we can get as much of that dirt and all that kind of stuff the snow had in it off of the board. Also, sometimes the back, just some kitchen sponges will work really good too. Once all that's done, you made sure that you scrubbed it all really good, a nice even surface. You can just take a clean cloth, just wipe it all off, Just get as much of it off as you can. And sweet. And now that that's done, you just let it set and dry, and then we'll get right into hot waxing it. Next step, of course, is waxing the board. Before we do that though, let me go over the features of the board. These are the runners, which would be these kind of raised regions from the base right here. And then we have the pow channel in between the two, which is kind of like the dip down area. And then of course we have the soft edge out to the hard edge. How we're going to start the waxing process, of course, is to get our wax, and we're going to take it. Nice new bar here, pretty stoked about that. We're gonna take that and we're going to apply what we call a drip wax here. We're gonna start with what is the runners, get a good amount on there. As it's hot, it'll be really good to just start applying it. Do kind of circles to make sure that it really gets into there. Don't keep it too long, or of course you'll burn your base and your wax. You don't wanna do that. All right, now that we got the two runners done, we're gonna get in between the pow channel here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna just drip it into the pow channel, like so. And then just kind of work it back and forth in between the two runners into the pow channel, just making sure, again, get a nice even coating. Now that we've waxed the pow channel, we can start moving some of this wax that's built up on the runners right here over from the soft edge over to the hard edge. Just kind of something like this. All right, and that's it. And this is for applying wax for would be our all mountain board with that full amount of three-dimensional base that we have. The Reposado and the Fly are all pretty similar to that too. The park board will be a little different. There will be no pow channel, you'll have the butter pad. And you'll just do pretty much a basic thing. It's just a flat snowboard from the runner in between, just kind of all the way across, So there you go, and that would be the difference. All right guys, hot waxing is done. So now we're gonna move on to scraping. What you're gonna need is a nice sharp plastic scraper. If you find one that has rounded edges, sometimes they're triangular, you can find them. It really helps with getting into that soft edge. Or what you can do, what I did, was if you have the squared one already, you can kind of round the squared edge out to be able to make it so you could do that. Some sandpaper or something like that totally works. So what we'll do is kind of like the same steps as waxing. You're just gonna get in and you're gonna scrape the runner first, getting it nice, as much of that wax off as possible. If you can see or feel any ridges or anything like that, that's what you're trying to take out so that way you don't have a bunch of excess. Sweet. Now that we've done the 2 runners, we'll get into the pow channel, and you'll just work the scraper just kind of back and forth motion across the pow channel, be able to get it kind of all out, you know. Just something really similar to that. Now that we did the pow channel, we move on to the soft edge into the hard edge. Again, we take the rounded side, and what we'll do is we'll just kind of turn it on edge, just kind of work it into the soft edge, just like that. And then just get the nice flat spot right there, and to the hard edge, from soft edge to hard edge. Sweet, there you go, now it's all scraped. Now that we're done scraping, on to buffing. And the reason why we do this is because even after scraping, you might have a little bit of excess wax on there, so this help gets it out. You could use any kind of like abrasive SOS pad, the same thing. So if you get in there, just really scrape, just kind of back and forth, nose to tail, and you'll be able to see where there's extra, and then you just kind of like move it a little bit over, and you'll see how easily it takes it out. And there you have it. Now your Gilson board is nice and waxed. It'll be really fun and fast for when you're next time riding. All right, guys, thank you.